Can you hear me? I hope you are hearing me. Today I will talk about poetry, memory, and the life beyond tears. Have you ever felt that your emotions doesn't rise the way they once did? That somewhere along the way your tears, your grief, your tenderness lost their easy language? A poet once wrote, I can no longer cry as I once did when my tears spilled into the sky, the river, the earth. Tonight we begin from the line and we walk towards the life on the other side of numbness. Hello, I'm Devashish Chakraborty and you are listening to another episode of our journey through poetry, memory, and the quiet space of the human heart. Tonight's episode is about the life that waits beyond sorrow, how we lost the ability to feel, and how we reclaim it. The poet who wrote that he could no longer cry, Gunter Grass, was speaking about something very familiar to our time. When life became complicated, when we seal ourselves inside the glass tank of routines, expectations, and noise, a strange thing happens. Our emotion begins to thicken. The simple relationship we once had with sadness or joy becomes blurred. We don't cry the way we used to. We don't feel the way we once did. It is not failure. It is simply what happens when the heart becomes crowded. And when we fail to understand each other's pain, when we turn the simple into complicated, a kind of emotional curfew settles in. The pathways of expressions close. Grief and joy became almost became artificial. From here, I can read some poetry of mine. I will read a poetry of mine where you can find that fight against artificialness. When I saw the dead land, I find a cry in the pen of a poet. I didn't understand his poetry, but still today, I find that cry. That cry is omnipotent. Words are omnipotent, and life is omnipotent. So we have to always celebrate the omnipotentness of life. Life beyond the death. Life beyond the tears. Stories that survive us, that is important thing. In every story, you will find a poetry. That is a very important thing. Stories that survived us. A poet once said, when I first looked towards homeland, I saw the soil, the rain, and poetry. This is where we turn next, towards the stories that survive inside us. Across a whole life, there are strange, half-vanished stories that stay hidden under our days. Stories that are difficult to understand until the moment you chose to understand them. Like the 6-line stories of famous writer Hemingway, where he said, for sell baby shoes not own. Very simple, minimal, and yet holding the weight of an entire world. So we have some questions. Why did the children walk barefoot even though shoes were for sale? Maybe there are 100 answers, but one answer stands out. The aftermath of war, where children and women carry the deepest wounds. Those 6 lines hold an entire generation's sorrow. And now I want to share a few of my 6 line stories. These stories of mine, I want to share my stories. These all stories are written in 6 lines. 6 words. The name of the story is Life. Dreams and darkness eventually fade away. The name of the story is No Mark. Death leaves no mark, lamination does. Title Burning. Love comes after burning. Title Embrace. Embrace life, not suicide. Title Scars. Body loved hidden scars. Title Truth. Beauty is not truth. Suffering is. Title Love. In love, mirror is unnecessary. Believe me, that is I love this story very much. In love, mirror is unnecessary. That is also a 6 line story. Stories that stand at the border of dream and memory. Stories that create their own quiet resonance. I try to create that resonance in these stories. Because in each one, there's destiny, yes, but also the inheritance of our dreams and the long echoes of self-reflections. A poet once wrote, "Through our wounds, all the knowledge of humanity enters. We learn life through experience, through loss, through the way memory insists on staying." So memory is important, and city. We have a memory and we also have a city. Today when we say the word city, we think of skyscrapers, wide roads, tunnels, and a deep tradition of pollution. Delhi stands at the top in air pollution. And yet, even in this shocking atmosphere, there is a part of us that longs for another world. The one Vibhuti Bhushan brought alive in Aranyak. Aranyak is a favorite. Aranyak is one of my favorite novel. Vibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay is a writer of Bengali language, and in my opinion, he is one of the best writer of today's world. Not only to today's world. So, in Aranyak you will find a forest drenched in moonlight, a world where fear and wonder walk hand in hand. On the world, Ruskin Bond gives us maple trees. I hope you know the name of Ruskin Bond. He is one of the best writer of today's time. He writes about children's. Small lanes leading home, the soft noise of birds, and the raft of childhood memories that keep us afloat. In moments like these, you feel like whispering Tagore's line, "I don't wish to die in this beautiful world." But how many of us can say that easily today? A few years ago, I read something in Reader Digest. A boy in New York wrote, "If someone smiles at me when I walk down the street, I won't choose death." But as he walked, the cars rushed past. People hurried by. Everyone lost their own rhythm. No one looked. No one smiled. In that vast, cold city, the boy chose silence, the final kind. This is the challenge of our age. Connection has become rare. even as our loneliness became common. That is a very beautiful line. This is the challenge of our age. Connection has become rare, even our loneliness